Hello everybody, here's another video on the cr250. It's a short one. So today what I did is I took the brakes apart, and here are the tools that I end up having to use. And some Allen keys and 12 millimeter, 10 millimeter clip removers, vice grips. So the very first thing, we can go over this. So if you look down in here, you can see the oil's dark. You can probably won't be able to see in there, but you look way down in there, there's a bunch of goo down in there, and you got to get all that out. This is just from not replacing the oil when they should and cleaning it properly. Clean everything out in there. You know, I'm not sure if this is going to get vapor honed or Cerakoted black. I haven't made up my mind. But in order to get this piece out, and this is when you do a rebuild kit, you get these seals, this seal, and a spring, and new clips, and I think there is a washer. There is right here, a washer. You'll get all that. So what you have to do, and what I have to do, is I use these Irwins to get these out. They're not very good, but they fit down in there. And I do have a really good set, but they're kind of like this, and I can get longer prongs for them, which I should, and that'll help out a lot. But if you don't have a really good set, the Irwins work. It can just be a little frustrating. So once you take this apart, what I like to do is take carburetor cleaner and just spray it out for now. Then taking these caps off, really anytime that you take the caps off, here's the screws that came out of it. See how rusty, dry they are. Use assembly grease and a JBS screwdriver. I don't have it up on the bench right at the moment. So here's the brake pads, rather thin, you know. You want to keep all these pieces, clean them up. Here's the rubber boots. You can see that this is torn. You know, you want to pay attention to that. You know, these are rather easy to come off. I'm gonna re-zinc this, but it had to come off anyways because it's going in to get painted. Same thing with that. Now somebody did grease these. It was replaced at one point. Another thing you want to grease this, of course, and make sure that, you know, they put a thread locker on here, and they can seize in there. But I like greasing these because I've had them before where somebody didn't, and this piece right here seized to this. I was able to get it out, but it's not easy. You can see all the brake dust and crap and shit like that. So this will come off so it can get painted. So in order to get these out, what I do is take it all apart. Then I bought this, I think I bought it at either Lowe's or Tractor Supply. And I used over 120 pounds of PSI to try and get these out. These were very dry when they came out. When they dry up, they're really hard to get out. And especially the plastic ones. I've had whatever it is, but I've had it where I couldn't get them out and I had to buy another caliper. So this one actually was kind of seized in there, and you could see where I used my vice grips is ultimately what I used to get it all out. And channel locks sometimes. And what you're doing with this, hopefully you can get these. They are out there. And what I was doing was turning it and turning it. Now, usually one of these will come out. I've really never had both of them come out at the same time. And you can see the grease that I put in there. And of course the seal's all gummed up in there. And I put it back in. And then what I do is I take 2 shims, right? And then I put the thick end, the thin end, just like you would in a door or a window when you're putting those in, if you know how to put them in. So I shimmed it to keep that in there, to keep more air pressure on here. And eventually it'll pop. You know, you just keep moving it. And you look at the oil that's in there, it's just horrible. You really want to take these apart, get them cleaned out, make sure that they're lubricated, and painter's tape, cover that up. That way you got the air going into it as much as you can get in there, because it leaks. It blows out everywhere. So that's about it. I sprained my ankle on one of the dirt bikes, so I'm kind of down and out, a little bored, but not doing too much. So thanks for watching.